say the information relates to JR Sanitizers. The CEO is Rose and Peter is the bookkeeper. Complete the creditor's payment schedule. Now the payment schedule is basically like the debtor's collection schedule. It's just now with credit purchases. So let's go look. They give us credit purchases here. They say stock base is maintained, meaning cost of sales is purchases. Cash is 15, meaning credit is then 85. Creditors are paid as follows: 80% in the month, 20% in the month after. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get my credit purchases for December. They didn't give me. You guys, this is how they like to ask it, and a lot of you forget to fill in the credit thingy here. So remember that. So December, my cost of sales is 262,000. I want 85% for credit purchases. So what is my credit purchases? 22. Now I know in the month 80 to get 5 discount. The month following 20. Can you see there's no bad debts because I don't bad debt. I want to keep my relationships good. Okay, so I pay everyone. So let's start. Can you see it's grade? Please don't write into the grey. And if you think October is 0, November is 1, so nothing in December. And they already gave you a tip, there's nothing. Huh? No, I'm tired, and I don't know why. But other than that, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you. I knew I could depend on you. 2 rand is a lot. Okay, November is 0, December is 1, so that's 20%. So that gives me 66,300. Now, December is 0, so December is 80% times 95%, and please write that down there. Because usually what they do is, because that was a calculation, this is usually 2 principal marks. But it's easier if you write it like this, then they see you knew what to do. Then the person marking doesn't have to take their calculator and calculate. You see? So how much is it? 169,256. And then I add. Please guys, don't leave the totals, because that's the easy one. So that would be 2 ticks. 7. Okay. Calculate the missing figures. 1, 2, 3. Are you sure? You can move the stuff away if you want to move closer. So now, let's look. First one. Collection for debtors in December 22. So debtors, they say cash sales, blah. Debtors settle their accounts in the month following the month of sales. So November will be paid in December. So I'm going to need November's total sales. Ne? But 30% is cash, so I need 70%. And that gives me 450. Listen guys, this is not the time now not to work. I see a lot of you just writing in the answers. You cannot now stop and say you're studying. Because if you're studying, it means, and you're not doing this, it means you're going to have to study this later. So my advice to you is rather do the work you get every day, because then at least that work is something you can do in the exam. And I say again, prelim is worse than June. So don't think you can now rest. Resting was for June holiday. Rent income for December, they say storage space is rented at a fixed rate. An existing tenant occupies 60 square meters. His lease expires 30 June 23. I have to calculate December 22, so he's still renting. A new tenant has signed a lease for the period December to November, and she occupies 75. So now, I know that the rent they give me for November, that 15,000, I know the 15,000 is for 60 square meters, ne? And the new guy is going to rent 75. So what is the new rent? 18. And I must remember to also add the 15, because that guy is still renting, ne? So that gives me 33,750. Everybody happy? What you could have done other than that is, instead of saying 175, you could have times with 135, adding the 60 to the 75. Okay. Salaries. So salaries, a new employee will be appointed from the 1st of December. So if I look at salaries, they give me December, so I'm going to reverse now. Ne? He will earn 14,840 per month. All other employees will receive an increase of 4.5 per year, effective from 1st December. So now if I go look at my salaries, the salaries is 55,595. But first I want to take out the new worker that gets 14,840. So now I'm left with how much? 4. Okay, and this is now including the increase. The increase is 4.5%. So I'm going to say this is 104.5, and I'm looking for 100. So that gives me on the dot. Is 4.5% a good salary increase?
Yes.
Yes, because it's what? It's above inflation. Yeah. Inflation is between 3 and 4%. Okay, next one. I'll just get my real questions. Calculate the deposit that will be paid for the purchase of the company vehicle during December. So if I look at the company vehicle, they say a new vehicle will be bought. A deposit is 25% of the cost price, okay, excluding interest. Okay, so let's see, what is it that they give me? They give me the vehicle there. My monthly installments is 20,800. Okay, so monthly is 2,800. They say the remaining balance will be paid equal installments of 20,800 over 24 months, including interest, with effect from 31st December. The interest for the full period is 45. Okay, so I know. Now you have to help me. 20,800, they're going to pay that for 24 months. What does that give me? From that, I want to subtract the interest of 45,600 because I want to get the pure installment on the vehicle so that I can calculate the deposit. And how much is this? 45,3,600. So this is after the deposit. I want to find out what the deposit is, which is 25. What is this? Is it 75 or 100? 75. Nee. So that gives me a deposit of, say again, 1.1200. Okay, everybody sharp. So you will see they will always ask one thing forward, but most of the things they ask reversing. So make sure that you know your UK, ne? So, next one. Next one, they say, oh, we're not done with the vehicle, ne? Oh, here it is. Jonita is concerned about the cash position for December. Why? Oh, because I'm ending in an overdraft, ne? Okay. She proposes moving the purchase of the vehicle to January. Use the table in the answer book to show the effect of this proposal on December. So now they give me December 120 is a negative deficit, ne? So if I add back the deposit of, what was it, 151,200, and I add back the installment and interest of 28. Why is there, oh, and there's insurance. Ne? So let's quickly see what's the insurance. They say the existing insurance premium will increase by the amount applicable to the new vehicle. It will also be payable at the end of each month from December. So if I look at insurance, I see there's an increase of what? 3,200. So I'm also saving 3,200. Is there anything else I'm saving? Do they say fuel? Okay, the fuel for the company vehicle. Now, is that the new one? So let's not say fuel. Let's see. Let's assume it's the new one. Let's look at the answer. Yeah, they added back everything. Okay. Everybody sharp? So, next one. Jonita is concerned about her decisions in October to adjust the markup percentage. Why would they adjust the markup percentage? Why would you adjust that? You can adjust it upwards or downwards, but what is your main purpose always? Not necessarily more money. No. You want to increase your profit. Okay, you want to increase your profit. So whenever the markup changes, so if the markup goes down, usually your customer base increases, right? But because the markup is down, it doesn't necessarily mean that the customer base increased to such an extent that your gross profit is more. And if you bring up the gross profit, the markup, usually your customer base would go down, but that doesn't mean that necessarily the gross profit is going to decrease. So you have to always go look at your profit. So let's see, what did she do? So just to cover our base, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell them what is it that I did? Okay, so what is it that she did? She decreased markup with 20%. I'm just going to write it there for myself. Okay. Now, she's concerned about it and the amount actually spent on advertising. Provide 2 points to indicate which of these were wise decisions or not. Quote figures. Okay, so she wants to talk about the markup. So let's look what happened to the gross profit. What happened to the gross profit?
It's more than budget.
It's more than budget. What happened to the sales? It's more than budget. Can you see? So I would say the gross profit of, what is it? Oh, you don't even have, they gave you the variance, is 27,966 more than budgeted, ne? Or higher than budgeted. Don't say increased. Or you can say the same with the sales is 247 more than budgeted. But now let's go look at the advertising. So they want specifically advertising. The advertising is less. Okay? So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to say the advertising of 12,000 is less than, no, the advertising is 12,000 less than budgeted. Okay, but now what did we say? Is it effective or not? We have to do percentages. So to cover my basis, because sometimes this is enough and sometimes this is not enough. It depends who sets up the question. Yeah.
When wasn't the advertising also an intentional change?
It could have been.
Isn't the question so we get much for
Do they say it's intentional? Where do they say it's intentional?
to adjust the markup and amount spent?
Okay, so how will we see? So that advertising, what are we going to see? What happened with that? Let's see what the percentage is. I am now at a loss. Help me here. Because if you just look at it, it both is fine because the profit still increased. But they want something negative here. So what negative thing can we see? Let's go look at the memo because my brain is dead today. Let's see. They say sales of 4,390 units more than budgeted. Okay. Or, so we are fine, we'll get our 2 marks because we said gross profit is more than budgeted. So for that, we'll get our 2. Okay? Advertising is less with 12. So there you also get your 2. Okay. You know what stresses me, and this is now, I'm sorry, I wish I knew. Explain why you, Anita, should be concerned about the actual amount spent on repairs and maintenance. Okay, now, with this, I'm quite sure we have to do a percentage. Why? Because repairs and maintenance goes with certain units. Ne? Okay, so let's go look. If I look at my repairs and maintenance, and you look what does repairs and maintenance go with? It goes with my what? Okay, I think this is a straightforward one because there's no link. I cannot see a link because repairs and maintenance is usually vehicles or buildings. I don't see vehicles or buildings here. And we don't do repairs and maintenance because there's no fee income there. You see? So I would now go to the normal thing where I say it's never good to be stingy on maintenance. And if I look here at maintenance, I see that I spent less than budgeted, which means I was skimping on maintenance, and it's going to bite me in the butt later, right? Because I don't check the vehicle's brakes this week. Next week, I won't be able to brake, and then I drive into another car, and it's way more money. You see? So I would say the actual of 8,000 is 22,000 less than budgeted. Do not try and save money through maintenance. That's what I would say. Let's see what they say. Underspent on maintenance. That's literally all they said. Explanation. This could affect long-run productivity. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one they want me to look at is James feels that there has been, remember James is the bookkeeper, ne? Feels that there has been a lack of control over the amount spent on delivery and packing. Now, delivery and packing will go with sales. So I'm quite sure we have to do here the percentage thing. So let's see. For delivery, I budgeted 35,046 on the 584,100. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, so what is the percentage I budgeted for delivery on sales? Mateo? What is the percentage that I budgeted? Calculator. Anybody? 6%. Okay, and if I do the actual, the 42,896 over 831,564, what is the actual? 5%. So can you see, in the end, we actually had very good control over the delivery expenses. Ne? Is it necessarily a good thing? It's just maybe I don't know. So how can they save on delivery? How can they save on delivery expenses? So remember, we are delivering to clients. How can we save on that? You know, the first thing, so my doggies, I have them washed and shaved. But it's a company that comes with a little trokkie, and they come to my house. I do not know what time they come, up until the morning, because they work out a route. So they are not going to go to a house there, and then a house there, and then go back where they were, and then, ne? So they do a route to save petrol and time. So they deliver all, so that what they will do is they will look, and I'm now not talking about them, I'm talking about these guys. What they can do is they can see, oh, I have a lot of clients in this area that needs to be delivered, so let's do this deliveries today. All the clients that's in that area, let's do all the deliveries in that day. Can you see? In that way you can save. Another way they can save is by saying we don't deliver further than 10 kilometers radius. Can you see? Oh, I'm teaching zombies. Okay. So that's the first thing. Let's look at packing material. I'm going to do the same. I take the packing material and I put that on the sales. What is that percentage? Huh? 4%. And if I do the actual, the 37,850 over the 83, it's also going to be less.
No, it's 4.6.
Okay. So it's actually a little bit more, but it's not really that much more. But let's see what they say. Let's see what the clever people got there. So delivery. The delivery costs were well maintained. Yeah, there's our one. See? Okay, I think that's the easier one. So that will give you 4 marks. Can you see there? They want you to compare it with sales. If I look at the packing material again, you have to compare it with sales. That's 2 ticks. Then your figures, there, budgeted 4, actual 4.6. Okay. Okay, so let's make a rule. Whenever you have to see if something was well controlled, you make a link and you get a percentage. You compare the actual with the budgeted percentage of the links. Okay, I think we can be safe saying that. 3.6. 3.6. Janita wants to use social media to create an online shopping platform to increase her sales. Name 3 additional payments that must be included in the January budget if she wants to do an online shopping thingamajig. Anybody? You're gonna, yes. You have to, IT, you're gonna have to get an IT expert. So salary for IT person. What else? Sorry? Delivery costs are gonna increase because we have to deliver. What else? Can you just sell online? Are people just gonna smell what it is that you sell? You're going to need warehouses to store because they're not going to go into a shop. You're now going to have extra stock that doesn't go into the shop. So your warehouse, you're going to have to rent space to store the stuff. What else? You guys, what's the first thing you need? How are people going to know about this?
Social media.
You need a web design. So you're going to need a web designer because you need to have a catalog. Online catalog. Ne? Your packing material is going to increase. So let's see what they said. Because I think they are more awake than you. They say you must establish a call center or additional courier services or additional delivery vehicles, computer hardware, file server, generator for when the electricity is off, inverter, ne? Increased salaries for drivers, assistants, IT technicians, packaging, insurance, staff training, data, fiber installations, internet costs, software construction, additional advertising, IT maintenance. So it's, you guys can you see you must get 3 marks here. Okay? Oh my word. I thought I was dead today, but I think you are more dead than me.